You are tuned into Life Transitions with Coach Robin. During Spotlight segment, coming up is part 2 of our conversation with Tiffany, founder of Investing in She. Our topic matter is the principle of investing. The Spotlight segment is sponsored by Woman to Woman Impartation 2018 Empowerment Side Piece No More Chronicles, coming to a city near you. It's a one-day empowerment workshop with tools, resources, encouragement, and motivated solutions. Next stop, Atlanta Chronicles, Reclaiming Your Self-Assurance, June 30th. Find more information and register at Eventbrite and all via all social media outlets, or dial 980-349-6140. Guys, I'm excited. We're going to get back to our conversation with a dynamic Tiffany, founder of Investing in She. Oh, God, you don't want to touch that dial. Remember, guys, I always say get your pen and your pad. She's talking about some great stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, finish telling your story. Because where that passion comes from, that's what I want them to hear.
Okay. Well, the passion started at the age of 4 for me. My mother, because she had no money, invested in men that raped her 4-year-old daughter.
My God.
3 months in the hospital being sewn back together and being healed from gonorrhea and chlamydia at 4 years of age.
My God.
Now, people say, how could a mother allow that kind of thing to happen to her child? Because no woman wakes up and say, hey, I want this to happen to my child.
That's right.
Women not having money has a whole lot to do with that. Women not having family has a whole lot to do with that. And I'm sorry, but women being religious and acting like money is bad has a whole lot to do with that.
Yes.
Because you can still have a beautiful heart and still serve and love God. And let me tell you something. The people that did the most in the Bible, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, none of them was broke. And you can protect your family more when you have money. Now, my mother taught me some very valuable lessons that I will love and honor her for the rest of my life. She taught me some very valuable lessons. She taught me that I will never allow a man to hit me. Never. It ain't happening. She also taught me that I will never allow a man to beat and rape and molest my children. Never happening. However, I did allow a man to emotionally and verbally abuse me.
Wow.
And he tore me down from the inside out. Because when we get with these men, the seed that they are sowing, you better make sure it's good seed. But this man was sowing into my already fickle and compromised self-image. He was sowing the seeds of self-doubt and self-hatred by telling me I'm fat, I'm ugly. And if you see me, girl, you know I'm fly. You know I'm fly. But
you better say that. You know you fly, girl.
I am fly, honey, all the way fly, all day. Salt, pepper, popping and flavor dripping all day long. But because I had opened my sacred temple up to a swine, he defiled it. And he left his filth in me from the inside out, and it corrupted the image that God had placed in me. It made me hate myself. It made me to start believing the things that he said. Because I was putting him in the position of God in my life. Why in the world would I believe this man over the still small voice of the Holy Spirit saying, don't believe that. And it was because I felt like I needed a man to complete me. Investing in the wrong doggone thing. I don't need to invest in a man to complete me. I am already complete with the love of God in myself. I was investing in the wrong thing.
My
so this
God.
man told me these things over and over. And it didn't start that way. It never does. It starts with a sly look here, a little comment there, and it gets progressive. And at the end of it, we were at the point where this man was just openly telling me that he wanted me and some other women, and he didn't really care how I felt about it. It got to the point where this man was driving other women around in my car.
Wow.
It got to the point where this man was flirting and sleeping with my nanny, the nanny that I had brought into the house to help with household duties. And I got a nanny because he didn't want our child going to daycare as I worked and taught other women to have money. This is where my passion comes from. My passion comes from pain. And the pain of saying I don't want any woman on this planet to suffer what my mother went through and what I went through. But I was a little bit different than my mother. I wasn't in the same predicament as my mother because of who my father was. So while this man was dogging me, he didn't dog me financially. Yeah, you straight up tore up my self-image. But while you was tearing up my self-image, black women have control of the money in the household. And like a typical black woman, I had control of the money. Now, he brought home a paycheck. This dude was a provider, but I managed it. And typically, women do manage the money in an African-American household.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't know what was going on. As long as no lights was off and all the bills was paid, he was good. So what I was doing was taking a percentage of that money and investing it. I called it the tithe to myself. You are entering into my sacred temple. You gonna pay a tithe.
Come on now. I like that. Y'all hear that, ladies? Do a tithe to yourself.
Yes, it is a spiritual law. You think you can enter into the gates of heaven? And come on now, Robin, you know what I'm talking about. You gonna worship,
wow.
And because that fool didn't worship, I made sure that he paid a tithe. So every time he brought me home his paycheck, I took 20%, not 10, because I'm worth it. I'm worth 20%. I had a child from this man in my old age. I'm worth it. I gained 40 pounds for this man. My body was snatched when I met him. He done took my waistline. Oh yeah, you gonna pay me. You gonna pay me. Because you're not going to leave me and my children in a position where if I need to leave, I cannot. So I invested his money. I got life insurance on him. That was the first thing. So now he with the nanny. It's all good because if you die, I'm going to get paid.
Come on.
No. Number one, I'm going to get paid. And then I started investments using his money and my own. It wasn't just his money because I was working just like that dude was. We were both working. So I used that money, and then I had that last stroke. And then I used all the money that I had used to invest to resituate myself and leave a bad situation. Unlike my mother, she had no money. She had no money, and her husband actually did control the money. That was mistake number one. No. I have a financial mind. If you're not better at finances, then I might as well control them. And all this, you the head of the household, and you thinking finances, so you just get to be the head of the control the money because you got a penis and I don't. No, that's for the birds, boo. That is for the birds. Women are smart. Women can do stuff these days. The patriarchy is changing, and the rise of the feminine principles is up. It is up. And black women are some brilliant, resourceful people. We are probably the most resourceful people on the planet. You give a black woman $15 and she will make you a gourmet meal.
Yes, she will. I've done it many times.
You give her $10, and she will have your home spick, span, spotless.
Yes.
You give her $100, and she will come in with a new living room suit. That is how we roll.
Too.
That is how we roll.
That's how we roll.
So when this man disrespected my temple, disrespected the sacredness of the heart that I had given him, I used the money that I had put aside that had been growing slowly but surely, and I told him, I'm leaving. He laughed, and he said, you don't have any money. Ha! Yeah, you're wrong. Yes, I do. And I got up out of there within 7 days.
Wow.
I didn't have to ask him for a penny.
Wow. Well, I want to ask you, Tiffany, since we're on that, I know it's kind of hard because investing, well, I'm not going to say it's kind of hard. It's just, what are some advice that, the average woman can do as far as just starting somewhere to begin? I know you said to tithe to yourself 20%.
Yeah.
That's a start. Any other tips that you could give the listening family that they can do?
She doesn't have to start with 20%. That's just, but I've been in this game a lot longer. If she can just start with 5%, let's say she started with, if the average woman can save maybe $5 a day, because she's going to spend that $5 in the nail salon, or she's going to spend it in the hair store or whatever. So $5 a day, what is that, 135? I don't have my calculator, but it's around that. So let's say she commits to saving $5 a day. She looks in her household budget, and she makes a decision. She says, I am not going to spend all of our discretionary funds on a sale, because women like to go in a store and go in there for bread and leave $127 later.
Exactly.
Stop. We have to stop, because these financial principles are being passed down to our daughters, to our sons. So she says, I'm going to save $5 a day. The first thing I'm going to tell her to do, if you have allowed this man into your sacred temple, you better get some life insurance on him. And when I say get some life insurance on him, because we're guaranteed that he's going to die. That we guaranteed of. He going to die, okay?
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you are the owner, not just the beneficiary. And there's a difference. Because if you are the beneficiary, if this man decides to creep with Sally Jesse Raphael, and he is the owner, when he is with her, he's going to make her the beneficiary. So all those years that you have invested, when that dude dies, you get nothing. No. The first thing she needs to do, she needs to ask him the question, do you love me? And he's going to say yes, because he wants the kitty. We already know how that goes. He's going to say yes, right? He's going to say yes. Then you say, is this love a conditional love, or is it an unconditional love? And he's going to say it's an unconditional love, because he really does believe that. He really does believe that. Here's what I say. If you love me.
Wow, what a powerful conversation. What a powerful conversation. I know you guys had to get some nuggets out of that. And women, I know you were able to jot down some powerful tips. Again, we want to thank you, Tiffany, founder of Investing in She, for this powerful conversation, which is still not over, guys. Family, you can find me on Twitter at Coach Robin J, Instagram at Live with Coach Robin, Facebook, Live Radio, Life Transitions with Coach Robin. Email me, guys, at coachrobinj@gmail.com. Thank you, guys, for listening to Life Transitions with Coach Robin right here on 57WLLE.net. Join me every Sunday, guys, here at 8 p.m. Let me leave you with Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I will see you guys next week. Remember, Life Transitions is where we champion life transitions together. God bless. I'm speaking this over your unsaved spouse. It's not over.